What's up? I'm B and welcome to my channel. Today's live is going to be a little bit different. Y'all voted on what topic you wanted to cover, and I had like 3 options and then one where it was like, oh, tell me something else. And we were tied for Alex James's response to Gabby Hanna's video, as well as updates on what's happening with Anna Campbell. Those were like both tied at 39%, and they have been for the past few days. So I made the executive decision to talk about what's going on, updates with Anna Campbell, and this is probably going to be a bit more of a faster live and a less organized live because a lot has happened and I want to go over it, but ultimately what it's going to boil down to is like a central idea and a central theme that we need to keep in mind above everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and, as always, give a few minutes, let everybody get in and get acquainted. Tell me your win for the week, something good that happened and something that you are excited about and grateful for, and then we will get started. Hi, Janie. Hi, Squirrellock. Squirrellock said, hi, I'm finally catching a live. Hello again. Julia said, I finally made it to a live. Janie said, I was hoping you'd choose Anna. Tegan said, first live I've ever been able to see. Fellow AZ pal here and big fan. Oh my gosh. I love like when people who watch me are from Arizona or they'll like mention something. Oh, go this place, go that place. So cool that you're in AZ. All right. So my win for the week, it was Monks' 4th birthday and he just had the best day ever. He loved every second of it. His sister's birthday was in April. And he's just been lusting after a birthday and a day all about him ever since then. So he loved it. So that was super fun to be able to celebrate with him. And we're going to do a family celebration this weekend and it'll be great. Janie said, I had my first fight with a friend and our friendship is stronger than ever. Win for the week. That is awesome. It's so good when you can, I mean, not that you fought, but like when you can have those disagreements or those things that like are awkward and maybe could ruin a friendship and you end up working through it. That's so good. Squirrellock said, win as I survived 2 10-hour days of teaching food safety. Oof. Sounds like a beast. Congratulations on getting through it. Julia said, win for the week. I started my new job as a supervisor and my staff are amazing. That's awesome. Congratulations on a new job and that you have a good staff. That's so cool. Alrighty, so we'll give it another minute or so and then we will get started. Oh, Janie said, I was hoping you'd choose Anna. Yeah, I feel like at this point with everything going on, like I just didn't have any other choice. Like this is what we have to talk about because I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm feeling, I don't know, not discouraged. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word, but yeah. Emily said, win is I started teletherapy. This is week 3. Congratulations. That's so awesome. You're taking a step to just better your life. That's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started after Tegan said, win for the week, didn't let my anxiety get the best of me when I was having major car troubles. Congratulations. That's controlling your anxiety is definitely a tough thing, definitely a bear, so that is awesome. Hi, Rachel. Okay. Let's get into it. So I'm going to give the update from how I've seen it unfold. I'm obviously not like on Twitter. I still have it and I try and keep up with certain things, but there's been a lot going on. And yeah, let me just tell you how I saw this happen. So last Sunday, okay, let me backtrack a little bit further. A few weeks, months ago, like for the past few months, I guess I would say, there have been quite a few, I don't want to say smaller, but maybe like newer channels, not like the main drama, main commentary channels, have been talking about Anna Campbell and everything that's going on. And through these people, I've learned a lot of information. I've referenced them. I've linked their videos and their channels in my comment sections and in my description boxes and said, hey, go watch them because they've got all of the details. And so I've been keeping up on the situation mostly through watching them. And on last Sunday, I saw a video that was about to premiere talking about how maybe Taylor Lynn's GoFundMe for lawsuit support was a scam. And initially when I saw it, I was like, I just didn't have any words. I was like, what could this be? Is this clickbait? Is it trying to get you to, like, watch it? And then it's going to be, like, flipping the script of, oh, no, she would never scam. I just wanted you to watch the video, right? Like, I'm giving this person the benefit of the doubt. This is a person I've watched multiple times before. They seem to be in close contact with multiple people involved in the case. And I guess if you're newer to this, I'm not going to be giving the background on everything and everybody, but I have multiple videos about Anna Campbell and Natalia Taylor, Kaylee Jade, Taylor Lynn that you can go watch, but broken down as simply as it can be, the issue is Anna Campbell and her behavior and alleged abusive tendencies, although we've seen videos of it happening, and 3 of her exes who've experienced that at her hands came together and were talking about it and presenting a united front, and I think that's so great. But obviously things have broken down because I watched the video and it was essentially accusing Taylor Lynn of scamming people with that GoFundMe, and the person said that they would take the video down if Taylor could provide proof that all of the money had gone to lawsuit support, like if she wanted a breakdown of expenses and like where the money was going and that it was in a separate bank account. And they said that they got this information from somebody, like, personal, close to the case, close to the girls. And it was really disappointing to watch because, in my opinion, like, yeah, objectively, it's bad if you start a GoFundMe with false intentions and you say the funds are going to be used for one thing and then they're used for another. And it's a completely separate thing. It's only used for self-gain. Objectively, yeah, that's not okay. But at the same time, I feel like it is prudent to only donate to GoFundMes where you trust that person. You say, this person needs some help. They're asking for money for this. I'm going to donate it to them, and I will trust that they do the right thing. And that doesn't always happen. I mean, you can't always tell somebody's character. But when it comes to that, I felt like the conversation about it potentially being a scam, it's important, but I feel like it takes away from what's going on. Yeah, Janie said scamming people doesn't mean she's not a victim. Right, and so if the main issue is the abuse, the alleged abuse at the hands of Anna Campbell, that's the main issue. Yes, there are other things going on. Other things deserve to be talked about. If Taylor was scamming people with that GoFundMe, it's not a good thing. Nobody would ever be like, yes, thank you for scamming me. I'm so glad that you took my money and used it for your bills or used it to get your hair done. I don't know. But one of the main points was that it was originally at $20,000, the goal was, and then it got changed to like 5,000 or 6,000 and it got shut down. You can still find the page. It raised like $5,495, something around that area, and it's closed. And so the argument is like, oh, well, that's not going to be enough for a lawyer. How would you ever even afford a lawyer with that much money? And yeah, fair enough. Like, attorneys are expensive, but I don't know the reason. I don't know. Maybe I would feel different if I was somebody who was like super invested and had like donated a ton of money and was waiting for her to use it and go to court. And I do want justice, but I didn't put any of my money into that GoFundMe. So maybe I would feel different if I had. But in my head, I'm like, if I'm trusting you, if I'm giving you this money, if I'm at a spot where I can hand it off to you, then I'm going to trust you to do the right thing with it. I'm going to see how some of you guys are feeling. Rachel said, how can we ever know if a GoFundMe is used as intended? Right. I mean, she never promised that she would provide a document of everything. Emily said that's messed up either way if the GoFundMe was misused, but it also seems dangerous to throw around those kinds of accusations. That's it, Emily. That's it, because that video came out and seemingly everything devolved. Again, this could have happened at a different timeline, but it's like everything has fallen away and nobody wants to focus on the real issue, because at one point Taylor posted on Twitter that she no longer wants to be associated with any of the other victims of Anna Campbell. And now it's going back and forth about who's cyberbullying who. And it's really Taylor and Kaylee going back and forth, and Natalia's kind of keeping quiet, which doesn't surprise me. But that's really what it's about. It's about the fact that they don't get along, and that, you know, Taylor feels stupid for trusting Kaylee, and Kaylee feels like Taylor put her life in danger because apparently Kaylee had left medication in Taylor's car. Taylor asked, "Oh, do you have everything?" several times, according to her. Kaylee said yes. Turns out she didn't, and she was like, "I need it now. You need to come back." It's a medication that has to do with her process of getting clean. Basically, it's an aid in that. And so she's like, "I need it, or I could have a seizure. You need to come back." And there's this whole issue, this whole interpersonal thing. And honestly, I'm not surprised that they're not like best friends. I'm not surprised that they're not like besties of the year. They didn't get along before this. Kaylee dated Anna after Taylor, and they had a lot of toxic interactions. And in the midst of that, they became friends. And then Anna got back together with Kaylee. And Taylor was like, "Oh, I should have known." And so they've had issues in the past. Just the fact that they've all been through somewhat similar experiences at the hands of Anna Campbell does not mean that they're meant to get along or that they're meant to be friends. And so when they put out that We Are Survivors video, I was really glad that they were all together and they were all getting along. But I think this perception of the three of them, like the three of them, they're a unit, they're together, is too much. They don't really know each other like that. They probably have a lot of similar experiences and know the feelings that each other have felt, but that doesn't automatically make them friends. And putting up posts of like, oh, the KNT Angels and these Stan accounts, and grouping them all together and expecting them to live up to that, like, now we are sisters together, I don't think that that's realistic. And because they didn't live up to that public perception of friendship, nobody's really giving Anna the attention that she needs to be having so she can be held accountable. It's all about he said, she said, who's a cyberbully. People are posting messages that Kaylee has sent them, which are not acceptable. They are very mean messages of her commenting on people's weight, their looks, their cellulite, like saying mean things. And yeah, that's not okay to speak to people like that, but that also doesn't mean that she didn't go through something terrible and traumatic, right? I mean, we know that she wasn't in the best situation. She has a bad relationship with her mom. She's been through some rough stuff, and that's the point that she was in when she met Anna. And things only got worse from there. So if anybody's surprised at that, you have to think about the background and the history. And this goes back to what we were talking about in my last video, where there is no such thing as a perfect victim. Anna put those videos of Kaylee getting into fights and being on Las Vegas Scoop as a way to be like, look, her experience is invalidated. And we can disagree with those things and we can dislike those things, but it doesn't mean that she wasn't harmed by Anna Campbell's behavior. I want to see. I gotta stop starting videos sitting on my feet, because man, they always fall asleep. Tegan said, I agree with what you said in the fact that donating to a GoFundMe is putting your trust in the fact that it will be used as you intended. Right, and it sucks when it doesn't. I don't want to say if she was scamming people, totally cool, like, that's on them. But, I don't know, and I don't want to, like, make anybody feel bad for donating if now they're having questions. But the creator, and I don't want to say the name of the creator who made this video, like, I don't want to send hate over there. If you've been keeping up with that kind of community, you probably know who I'm talking about. I don't want this to have any negative effect on that person, because it seems like they have gone through, like, just a giant wave of emotions. But Kaylee was the one who told that person that Taylor was scamming people with the GoFundMe, and that Taylor didn't know where the money was. She didn't have a separate bank account, and apparently Natalia and Kaylee, according to this creator, got on a FaceTime with her and told her it was all a scam, tried to, like, turn her against Taylor, basically. And then this person created that video essentially accusing Taylor of misusing funds, and now they feel like they were used by Natalia and Kaylee, so they took the video down, and they've taken a bunch of other videos down. And before, they made a long community post talking about, look, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I need Taylor to show me the proof. And now it's gone, and the only community tab post on there is directed towards Kaylee in a negative way about how she's an internet mean girl. Man, this is just a bummer of a situation. Janie said they're all vulnerable people. That's part of why they were chosen to be her victims. Emily said, sounds like Anna's claws are still in there. I don't expect a kumbaya, but that sucks. Right. It's just, if people aren't friends, if people don't get along, okay, great. But the fact that they're going after each other, and that people are invested in it, and people are fueling it. And, there's people who support Kaylee commenting under Taylor, and people who support Taylor commenting under Kaylee, and all these accusations are going wild. And maybe that is a thing. Like, maybe these things did happen. They are real, and they do need to be dealt with. But fighting with each other, and, like, the petty disagreements, and making it so public why you don't get along and why you don't trust each other, is going to take the public's attention away from getting the justice, which is the whole reason y'all banded together in the first place. And I don't want to say that I blame them for anything, although I will contend that they are contributing to the fueling of this fire. But the public, like, we as the public, need to remember that this is interpersonal drama. This is drama between people who know each other and have had experiences with each other, and they need to deal with it. They need to work it out. They don't want to be friends, totally fine. But we still have Anna Campbell. We need to focus on that. Megan, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the donation. You said, can you do a quick recap of what happened with GoFundMe and such? I'm lost. Yeah, so fastest way I can say it is that Taylor Pendergraph made a GoFundMe for legal support. Originally, the goal was like $20,000. Then she lowered it to about $5,000 and closed it. And a smaller creator made a video talking about how they believed it was potentially a scam because of this. And, how are you going to get an attorney with $5,000? I want to know where that money's going. And essentially accused Taylor of scamming people with the GoFundMe. But this creator has since deleted that video, said that they got that information directly from Kaylee, and that they feel used by her and that she's a mean girl. Rachel said, it's really unfortunate that this is just another thing that perpetuates the don't believe victims mentality. Now people will say she did it for the money and clout. That's as simply as it can be put. I wish I was concise like that. I feel like I have a tendency to go like, I'm holding Monks' pterodactyl because I had put it in here because him and his sister were fighting over it, and then I just forgot to take it out. So I'm holding on to it. But yeah. Laura said, I feel like all this drama is taking away from the illegal things Anna did, like her group chats with minors. Rachel said, yes, Laura, distractions and smoke screens. Janie said, unfortunately, most predatory people choose their victims wisely. They hurt people who won't be believed. Yeah, and it's one of those things, I still believe them. I still believe their experiences, but you are going to have people who say, oh, Kaylee got into a fight in Vegas and called somebody a fat B word. I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. Oh, Taylor kicked Natalia and Kaylee out of her house when they came to come stay with her. She's a terrible person. I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. oh, Natalia is, I don't know, like, there's nothing, like, directly going against Natalia, but, you know, Natalia is taking Kaylee's side over Taylor's. I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth because I don't trust Kaylee. Like, those things could all happen. The public is very fickle, and so it sucks because Anna has done a lot of bad stuff. Anna was in group chats with minors sending pictures of herself in lingerie, and I don't care if she didn't ask the age of everybody in there. Why are you sending pictures of yourself in lingerie to people whose age you don't know? Why do you have a group chat named Campbell's Cum that had minors in it? Why do you have a dedicated porn chat? Why are you taking pictures of Natalia doing illicit drugs without her consent and sending them to Taylor while Taylor's still in high school? Why are you glorifying this? Janie said, I wish they didn't need each other, but they do kind of need to pull it together because their ex has a following. Yep, and every crack in that united front that they put up is going to be ammo for the following. Oh, you lied about this? You're probably lying about that too. Oh, you guys can't even get along? Oh, it's probably your fault that these things happened. Because I just see it happening. Tegan said, a lot of people blame the drugs for Anna's actions throughout their relationships, but all of them were on drugs and they didn't do the things Anna did. Yep. And if they did do, like, you know, it's the same with Natalia. How she talked about how she threw a picture frame across the room and smashed it against the wall, and it broke into a bunch of pieces. Natalia brought that up. Natalia brought that to the public, and then 2 months later, not 2 months later, it was like, I don't know, 10 months later, Anna comes to the internet and talks about that story like it's a gotcha moment. And, oh, well, if you're a victim because I kicked a milkshake into your, you know, not in your face, but near you, I kicked a milkshake near you, and you're a victim because of that. Am I a victim because you threw a picture across the wall and it shattered over me? Maybe. Did you feel like that victimized you? But, you know, like, you're going to use that against Natalia, who brought it up. Like, these people have taken accountability for specific things they did while they were on drugs or while they were with Anna. And Anna has not done that because Anna does not care. And Anna is, I'm sure, loving this, quietly taking videos down. She deleted her video about the lawsuit update where she read the cease and desist that she sent to Kaylee. That's gone. She's deleted several other videos. The last video she has is the truth about Natalia Taylor, which is from a while ago. I'm sure this is just like music to Anna's ears because it's going to distract from her, which sucks. And I don't mean it in the way that, like, I want bad things for Anna, but Anna's done a lot of stuff. Anna's hurt a lot of people, not just these three, not just Kaylee, not just Natalia, not just Taylor. She's hurt a lot of people. There's stories about people who went to high school with her getting bullied or getting recorded when they were blackout drunk and not even knowing about it and being humiliated by that. And, you know, Maddie talking about how when they were in high school, they would go to their teacher every day crying about their interactions with Anna because they were so tumultuous and scared of disappointing Anna and the trauma that comes from that. I want justice for Natalia, for Taylor, and for Kaylee. I want them to all have that, but I also want it for everybody else too. And I don't want people to get hung up on this. Olive Thunderbird said, seems so unnecessary to start infighting, but then again, they're handling trauma, so I can understand that emotions are high. Oh, for sure. Of course, like, it only makes sense that emotions are high because then you get them all together and maybe they're processing and healing on their own, but then you get them all together and they've all had somewhat of a shared experience, and, like, they're probably the only people that they know who know what they've been through and can relate to what they've been through. And reliving that, rehashing it, talking to somebody who actually knows how you felt and what you've been through is so emotional. So it only makes sense. And I also think about how anytime you get 3 people in a friend group, one person's going to be left out. That's just how it goes. Like, even I have 2 sisters, And we're not all equally close at the same time. It's like two of them two will be close, and then me and one of them will be close, and then me and the other, and then like it just bounces around. And so somebody's always going to feel a little bit left out. And when you have these girls who've been through traumatic experiences, who Taylor and Kaylee hated each other for a period of time, getting together and then presenting this united front and being held up as like this group, this team together, it's going to be messy, and somebody's going to feel left out, and feelings are going to get hurt. I just feel like that's a thing that is going to happen in general in groups of 3. Janie said, once someone has a core group of followers, it becomes incredibly difficult to hold them accountable. Gabby Hanna should have been shut down years ago, but her little soldiers kept validating her. Yeah. It's just, it is hard because Anna still has people who believe her and fight for her and put things out on Twitter that are inflammatory towards Kaylee, Natalia, and Taylor. And that's just how it's going to go. Like, people are going to believe Anna. Not everybody, obviously. There's a massive group of people who do not believe that Anna's innocent or that these are all lies or all made up. But she's got a lot of subscribers and a lot of people who are going to be on her side. So, I think I'm good. I had to get that off my chest because it was just like breaking my heart. Just like, not, because I don't want anybody to fight. Yes, they're the ones choosing to engage in the fight. They're the ones making it public. I don't know whether or not Kaylee actually was the one who told that creator, oh, it's a scam, make a video. I don't know if Natalia was involved in that. This person has claimed that Natalia and Kaylee were involved. So I don't know. Those are bad choices, and that's disappointing. But they've all dealt with a lot, and they've all gone through a lot. And again, there's no such thing as a perfect victim. And I wish that it didn't come to this. I wish that it hadn't taken this curveball and this swerve, because it takes the focus away from things that are far more serious. Janie said PTSD might have caused some rejection-sensitive dysphoria that makes everything harder in that situation. I've never heard of rejection-sensitive dysphoria. I'm trying to use my knowledge of words to figure out is it kind of like where you get a small rejection or a small issue comes up and it you kind of catastrophize it or it feels like this massive blow, even though it not objectively is small, but it could be considered a small thing. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's my thoughts. I told ya. Hi, Steve. I told you guys this was just gonna be a quick one, quick little rant. I don't want Anna's actions to be lost in the midst of the infighting and the drama. Like I said, I get it. Natalia, Taylor, and Kaylee are the ones bringing it to the internet, but there's also other people engaging. There's other creators who are commenting on it and who have contributed to it by making videos calling them out. And so, singling Taylor out to call her out. So it's not all on them. It's on us as an audience and on other viewers and people who are engaging with the content on Twitter. But don't let this, you can do what you want. But to me, it doesn't make me believe them any less. It doesn't make me believe that they didn't go through what they said they went through. And I don't want anybody else to look at these actions, these petty things, and be like, they're liars. Janie said, it's what Gabby Hanna claims she has. Being rejected causes massive emotional pain and sometimes physical pain. Oh. Emily said, it's so messy. Like you said, there's no such thing as a perfect victim, but the perpetrator should be under the microscope. Blinders are needed right now. Build a case against Anna. Yeah. Olive Thunderbird said, pretty much you can also take things that aren't meant as rejection. It's common in ADHD as well. Gotcha. Yeah, back to what Emily said. Anna's the one we need to focus on. Blinders for right now. Get this taken care of. Let the legal system handle it. I think Natalia and Kaylee were in Boston recently doing some legal things. So let's hope that progresses. Let's hope that it goes forward. Taylor did publish a form of receipts to her Twitter that if you want to check out, you can. Basically saying that the only money, like, she showed a screenshot of an account and it had a few $1,000s in it, saying that she got, here, let me see if I can find it. I don't want my camera to die, so if it does, if like my face goes away, it's because my camera's gonna die. It's been a heck of a week, y'all. Maybe I didn't screenshot it. Taylor Lynn. I'm gonna try and find it quick because I know it's not fun to watch somebody search. Okay, so she said 5,500 was donated. I've already used 500 for a plane ticket to California for the We Are Survivors video and 200 for the Boston flight, which wasn't refundable. That much money doesn't get you far, BTW. Whatever else is used for my case is my business from here forward. And she shows a screenshot of an account with $4,846.48 available. So those are the receipts. I mean, you can choose to believe her or not, but back to those blinders. Emily said, plus Natalia was in a state of psychosis at the time. It's not an excuse, but she was tripping bad. Yeah. You know, not an excuse, but she's the one who brought it up, and she's the one who owned it. And I think, you know, that's why people admired her so much, is for coming forward and saying, here's all the stuff I did. Like, I was not in a good way, and I take full accountability for it. And so I still admire that about her. And I just hope that this can kind of go away or settle down, or they can all say, hey, we don't have to be friends, but we have a common goal, and that's getting justice. So let's just focus on that right now. And then, like, if we want to deal with it, if we want to talk it out, we can do that later. But let's focus on what we got to focus on now and deal with the rest of it after. So I got that off my chest. I needed to do it. I believe survivors. That is my default. Some people were saying they felt stupid for, like, jumping in and believing them so quickly. Don't. I mean, false allegations of rape are extremely rare, and so are false allegations of abuse. Yeah, sure, they happen. But I don't think I don't think you should ever feel bad for believing a survivor and giving them that empathy. Right? Like, that's just my opinion. Especially when it comes to them, and they've all had such similar stories and experiences. It's not foolish to say, wow, that's a terrible thing that happened to you, and I support you, and I hope you get justice. So that's all I've got, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I want to be like, I hope you like this video. If you did, give it a like. It feels weird, but I don't know how to end it without saying that. So if you liked this video, and you liked hanging out, if you would consider liking it or subscribing to my channel, that would be incredible. And if you are subscribed already, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of you, and I love being able to just sit here, hang out with you, and talk about whatever. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the next one.